What's up, guys, and welcome back to EBFG TV. We're back for week 2 of the MLS season. The Seattle Sounders traveled north to Canada, but it's actually south. As many people on Twitter will probably tell you that Montreal is not actually north of Seattle. Whatever. They traveled to Canada to face the Montreal Impact for the second game of the year. They're back on the road. Brian, what do you expect from the Rave Green in Canada?
I think it's going to be pretty similar. I mean, hopefully not like results-wise and performance-wise, but I think the team's going to look pretty similar. Hopefully he's going to get some guys fired up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Those guys that we had kind of called out a little bit in our match review thing after Houston. Your big money guys aren't stepping up. They're the guys who are supposed to be doing kind of maybe not the bulk of the work, but you're supposed to be noticing them.
Sure.
Yeah. Supposed to be noticing them out on the field, and they were. A lot of them kind of disappeared in that game.
Yeah.
And Schmetzer doesn't seem like the kind of coach to shy away from benching a guy if he's not performing. Yeah. Which is something I kind of took issue with Ziggy with occasionally, of just plucking a guy back in the lineup time after time when he wasn't getting it done.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think this will be a good kind of litmus test for where we're at. I think Houston, I'm just not counting that, essentially. Mm-hmm. Those kind of things happen. Mm-hmm. If it happens again, I think you're not hitting the panic button. It's game 2 of the season. But I think it's a good way to kind of measure where we're at as a team, kind of both mentality-wise and play-wise.
For sure, it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back because, as we said in our little vlog match preview or review of last week, it was just a piss poor effort all around. It didn't look good. It was just they didn't come to play, and Houston did, and you gotta respect Houston for that because they're a team that finished bottom of the table last year in the Western Conference. I don't know if they finished bottom of the league or second last because of the Chicago Fire.
I think Chicago did. But...
Yeah, they've been pretty bad for a while.
Yeah.
But no, Houston came ready to play and we didn't. And that's the plain and simple facts of what happened last week. And those games are going to happen. It's always going to be tough to get a result down there, especially the first week of the year when they're kind of a little bit rejuvenated. They had a pretty good home crowd for Houston, I might say. They usually aren't most well-attended sporting event in Houston. But yeah, they had a good home crowd that was behind them for most of the game, or at least as behind the crowd as they're going to get, or behind the team as they're going to get. And the Sounders just didn't show up to play, and that's okay because it's week 1 of 34. So 33 games to go. I'm interested to see how they bounce back. It's a kind of a tough game because it's cold in Montreal, but they're playing at Olympic Stadium, which is a dome. I don't know how much of the cold that'll alleviate, but I assume it'll be quite a bit of it. But I still think the condition will be tough because as far as I know, that turf is pretty old. That's a pretty old building, and it's a pretty far distance to travel after you're traveling a far distance to Texas. So we kind of got the shaft of the MLS scheduling early in the season. But I'm interested to see how they bounce back.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I mean, if you offered me kind of this rough road trip at the very beginning of the season or towards the end where you're really looking for those points, maybe pushing for the shield or something, I would take it now every single time.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. That's a really good point. And honestly, as far as I see it, I mean, these are 2 pretty big away games. Every game is important. Mm-hmm. But I'd be completely happy with the draw going into the home opener next week. That's going to be a huge game for the club and for the city of Seattle, I think. So I think a point going into that would be a pretty good result.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Obviously, I'd like to get the win.
Yeah, of course.
But even if it's a 0-0 draw, I would take a clean sheet. I think just a solid defensive performance would be nice to see.
Well, after last week, they just looked so bad. I would just love a good solid effort. To be completely honest, we didn't really get a good solid effort in Houston. So yeah, I just want to see a little fight and a little spark in the team after. If I had to put last week's performance in a word, it would be like, because that's what I thought it was.
That's about right.
Yeah, it was just all around pretty blah.
Yeah, I think one thing we've noticed with this team, though, since Schmetz took over, is that when we have those sort of games where we look kind of just dead, they seem to come out pretty fired up the game after.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
He's a very no nonsense coach, I think, Brian Schmetzer. As you said earlier about him benching guys if they need to be benched, he doesn't shy away from that, and he's willing to be completely honest with the players and tell them what they need to hear, not always what they want to hear. Right. And I think that's a big difference that kind of caused that turnaround last year. Is he told them that they were they were playing pretty bad, which they were.
Hopefully they knew by that point.
Hopefully, I think they knew by the time that there was the coaching change last year, they probably knew they were playing bad. But definitely having a coach who's 100% honest with the team and willing to tell them kind of the hard things is very important to a club of especially of this size. I mean, the way I look at it, we're probably the biggest club in the country, if not the second biggest, if you want to just talk about LA in their terms of winning titles. But a big club, you need a coach that's willing to be honest and say that we're better than this and we need to be better.
I think we'll see that same thing. So we go straight into score predictions then?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you think?
I'm going to say I don't think, I would love to see it, as I said a minute ago, clean sheet. I don't think we're going to see it. I'm going to say 2-2.
Yeah. I mean, I never know on the road. It's so hard to predict road games because of how kind of hectic their schedule is and how brutal the travel in MLS can be, even though it's only the second week of the season. It's still pretty tough. I'd be happy with a 1-1. We predicted Will Bruin to score last week in Houston. I'm going to predict Harry Shipp will score in Montreal. That'd be pretty great.
Or at least get him on the field.
Yeah, at least get him on the field. That'd be great. If you didn't know, Harry Shipp looks a lot like the kid from Malcolm in the Middle. Did you see that tweet?
No.
I tweeted. I don't know. I'm promoting my own Twitter. Like what? I'm very vain, but I just think it's super funny that he looks like the younger brother from Malcolm in the Middle. So I'd love to see him get on the score sheet.
Like Dewey?
Yeah, Dewey. Yeah, he looks just like that kid.
I can totally see
that. It is wild. Like even like the receding hairline he has, he looks just like him. It's so funny.
That's great.
But I'd love to see him get on the field and make an impact. No pun intended.
Boo.
Boo. I'd love to see him get on the field and provide a spark that I think we need a spark right now. We kind of need an early goal to kind of spark the team into season started. Let's get into it.
Sounds good to me. Now, I got one last little quick question. If you're Schmetz, do you make any lineup changes from the last week's 11?
I don't think so. I think that's almost as close as we're going to get to a 100% starting lineup without Brad Evans.
Yeah.
That's last week's starting lineup was, I think, probably 10 out of 11 of our best 11, and the 11th is hurt. So I don't expect any lineup changes. You never know if on the road he wants to throw something in there and kind of change stuff up, especially because we know some of these national team guys are tired because they've been in camp since like the middle of January, so they've been playing soccer for already a couple months now. But I don't expect any changes. I'd be a little surprised if there was any changes. We
do have Fisher healthy, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
I might give him a go at right back.
Okay, yeah. Svensson was a little rough.
Let's just keep it keep it that way and keep it nice. But he did not have his best game.
He didn't for sure, and I'd love to see another great game from Jovan Jones because he was spectacular on both sides of the ball. I thought last week he was really good. He was probably our best field player. I
would agree with that. He seems to be one of the ones really buying into Schmetz's system.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's really all in. It kind of looks like he's just getting into that prime performance age, which is super exciting to watch because when he gets the ball sometimes and he has space running down the wing, it's kind of electrifying to be completely honest. He's a lot of fun to watch.
It is. He's one of those players where you never quite know what he's going to do. And sometimes he'll just beat a guy with pace, just run around him.
Yeah.
Sometimes he pulls out this crazy little heel flick turn thing.
He had a couple crazy. There was one I remember where he was running down the wing and I think someone slid in to try to get the ball and he got it over him somehow. I didn't even see how he did it.
Yeah.
But he's very, very talented, and it's really fun to watch him play for the Sounders right now.
Definitely.
All right, well, I think that's all the EBFG TV boys. Nice one. I think that's all the EBFG TV boys have for you guys today. We will talk to you after, hopefully, the first 3 points of the Sounders season in Montreal. But if not, we'll talk to you after an encouraging draw, or maybe an encouraging loss, or maybe a heartbreaking late goal. Who knows? It's, MLS. Anything can happen. But as always, thank you for watching EBFG TV. We will talk to you guys later.